Hey guys, today we're going to be checking out the new Mattel DC Comics Multiverse. This was the King Shark wave. We are finally having a look at the Collect and Connect King Shark. Admittingly so, most of this wave, I find the figures were slightly disappointing, but the payoff though, the payoff of seeing this guy now in hand could be one of my new favorite Collect and Connect figures. The Multiverse figures as a whole, the last little while, the last few waves, haven't had the greatest. Some highs, mostly lows, I find, for Build-A-Figures. One of the more notable exceptions were the Doomsday. I quite liked the Doomsday. But I think King Shark here might trump those as my new all-time favorite. It might also stem from the fact that I really do like great white sharks, and sharks in general. I think sharks, one of the scarier things in life, for me, one of the scarier creatures on this planet. I don't know, there's something about a shark that I really dig. Face sculpt wise, it doesn't get any bit better than this. Of course, he's got some nice sculpting here on the side with his fins, or I guess his little air ports there, the little slots. And of course, one of the aspects of this figure that I really like quite a bit, his gills. His gills. One of the aspects I really like about the figure is the fact that you can open and close his mouth, and you can see his slightly less pearly whites. They're kind of more like an off-gray color, and they've done some darker coloring here. Kind of looks like it could be the residual of blood. The tongue has been sculpted in as well, which I do think is a nice touch. But I really love the fact that you can open and close the mouth. I would feel so cheapened to collect these, to find out that King Shark's mouth was permanently like this, or even, dare I say, permanently like this, and this was just rubber. This is not rubber. This is a nice solid plastic. In fact, actually, pretty much all the figure is plastic. There's no hollow aspects to it. Unlike like that owl figure, the Collect and Connect figure, that had just like a lot of hollow feeling pieces. King Shark here feels substantial, feels durable, feels like a good quality toy. The jeans are like acid washed. They look like they're bleached here. Much paler. It could have been maybe a little bit darker, or had a little bit more darker to light variations to the color that's been applied here. Really, they favor more so just a very, very pale denim color. But I like the washing, though, that they've added to it, that nice white wash to an otherwise blue jean. Like if it was solely just solid blue, don't really think I would like that as much, but I love this white. Like again, this white wash that's been added for the paint here. They sculpted the undersides of his feet, which is a nice touch. That's something that goes a long way for me, because after all, this is the area of the foot that you're not really going to see. They could have just chinsed this right out and made this completely flat. They didn't do that though. They sculpted the undersides of his feet, so I like that. Some other aspects that I do care for is the fact that they do have lightened the area around the chest on him. The back portion doesn't really seem to have as much of that, but some nice sculpt work there around the area where the joint resides. It's almost got like an elephant skin to it. Some nice scratches and scars there, scarring on the fin, and of course some scarring around the eyes. There's the close-ups. There's the close-up of his eye. It was black, like doll's eyes. It's nice whitewashing around the mouth portion here as well. And the gills, let's not forget the gills. Like the little slot things. Yeah, all in all, a really good looking figure. If I could really nitpick anything that bothers me about the figure, it would be a very small list, let me tell you. But I guess one of the few aspects that bother me about the figure is that he doesn't really have much in the way of a notable elbow joint. That's about all you can really do for the bending of his elbow. I wish it was a more, a more fluent, more accessible joint, but I guess that would rob him of this bicep that they've sculpted into his arm. Running through his posability, by the way, his head doesn't have any, just by the way that everything's been plugged into the top torso. He's got the crunch in the torso, a swivel in the waist, a hinge on the arms, on both arms. What? Both arms? Yes, both arms. A swivel on the bicep. That very small, insignificant, but I guess appreciated bend in the elbow. There's no swiveling here in the forearm. And he does also have a swivel in the hand. You get to the legs, you get the familiar DC Universe split on the leg. You got forward back motion, a 3/4 or half thigh cut swivel, a hinge. Now this is what I'm talking about. Look at the considerable hinge that you've given to the knee. Wish the elbow could have had that, but anyways. And then finally you've got a hinge on the foot with 0 ankle pivot. 0 ankle pivot. Very good figure. Very, very good figure. One of my favorites. One of my new favorite collect and connect figures. This kind of harks back to me, the old DC Universe lines where we were getting super cool collect and connect figures. Missed their mark a little bit, and then I feel like now I think they've kind of grabbed themselves. They've grabbed the torch, I guess, and continued on the DC Universe collect and connect figures, because I think really this is one of the best collect and connect figures in recent memory. As we normally do, despite some changes to the channel, as we still will normally do, we'll have a look at some of the figures that I liked in this wave, and we'll just do some quick discussions about that. I think my favorite figure, despite its paint flaws, is still the Batgirl. I knew the Batgirl was going to be my favorite, I think, when I was initially picking these figures up. Having now since reviewed her, having opened her up, having looked at Batgirl, I think she still is my favorite figure. The quality on the paint could have been a little bit better. Seems very messy and muddy, but overall, I think it's my favorite figure from this wave. I actually had a tough time coming up with the second because it was somewhat of a tie. On one end, I really liked the Joker, even though, again, paint kind of killed it for this figure. As much as the paint killed it for Batgirl, I think the paint was much worse here in Joker for around the paint area. The other figure I quite liked was Zoom, of all things. So I might even say that they could be tied for second. I might even be leaning a little bit more towards Zoom as my favorite, second favorite figure. And then rounding out the last, I guess if this was going to be a tie, my other favorite is the Jim Gordon Batman. Least favorites, of course, the Hawkman and the Flash. Still kind of feel like Flash might still kind of top the scale a little higher than the Hawkman. I don't know what it is. I just didn't really like the head sculpt on Hawkman. And there you go, guys. We just wrapped up another series of reviews as we looked at the entire King Shark wave. I certainly hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you haven't had a chance to check out the videos on the individual multiverse figures from this wave, by all means, go back, check it out, give me a like, and certainly comment down below. Let me know what you thought of those videos. I always really like reading your comments, seeing what you guys have to say. So by all means, if you want to say something on the channel and you want to put a little comment down below and let me know, and we can discuss things back and forth, I always like doing that. If you have not also subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? You can also hit that subscribe button, and you're good to go for not only these videos, the new ones that are coming to the channel, but also all the other videos that you might have missed along the way. And on one better as well. Speaking of videos that you might have missed, there's a ton of multiverse figures on this channel that you might have missed. So go back, check out the playlists on those, and you're also good to go for that. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.